All right, so we are working this week on a little bit of Google Draw. Google Draw is an awesome way to visually get your points across. So at the end of the semester, you need to make a web page, and we're going to use Google um, for that. So I try to build a lot of the stuff in Google so it's automatically going into what you need. So when we create Google Sites, you can have a header that you build, and that's part of your project for this week is to build a Google Sites header. And to do that, we're going to use Google Draw. So if you're watching my screen, up on the right-hand corner, we have the apps. All right, I'm going to go to my Drive. And then on this left-hand side, I'm going to click New. And you will see a drop-down. No, sorry. Yes, I was right. New. Been one of them days, everybody. I'm sure you all have them. Let it load, let it load, let it load. There we go. We're going to drop down to more. All right. And we're going to go to Google Drawings. And notice I make mistakes in my discussions and my meets. Listen, we're all human. You're going to. As a teacher, you got to get used to going with the fly, screwing up a little bit. So you have those happen. If you're that critical of everybody else, then watch out when you become a teacher because they're just as critical. All right, so here is where we are going to build the background or the header for our Google Sites. We're not going to put it in today, but we're going to create it. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to give it a title. So Google header for 102, 103. Now you can call it whatever you want. I'm just using that so that I know exactly what I'm doing. All right, so you always want a name. So now our Google Sites has a specific size limit of what you can use when you put in there. So we have to change the dimensions of our paper. And to do that, you're going to come up to File. And let me get rid of that guy right there real quick. Sorry. You're going to go down to File, and you're going to go to Page Setup. All right. Now, for right now, we're going to go to Custom, and we're going to change this to pixels. All right. Now, it's 960 to 720. We are going to change it to 1600 by 400. And watch the shape of my paper in the back. All right, dramatically changes. All right, so that is something that you want to see happen. You want to see that dramatic change. All right, so 1600 by 400. Now, when we put this in, it should fit perfectly. Now, just for other ideas, this corner right here, you can also drop and drag. So if I were to drag it up, it changes the size. All right. If I want to make it bigger, you can do it that way. But we are very specific in that we need 1400 or 1600 by 400. All right. So it drops back pixels. All right. 1600 by 400. And again, it changes the size of my paper. All right. Now, you want to create a website that is memorable. You want students, faculty, administrators, you want them to remember your website. You want it to be you. I mean, you want your personality to come out in it. So you really need to think about what you're going to put in there and how you're going to do it. So there's a couple of different fun tricks that I'm going to show you to help you understand the best ways to do this. So the first thing, whenever you start with a blank canvas, is you got to get a background, right? So we're going to click here. Now, how do I do that? Either right click, all right, on your mouse, or if you're on a Chromebook, 2 fingers, all right, and we're going to look at background, all right, or you could also go back to, give me a second, I always do it this way so I forget where the background is, but I know it's on here somewhere. Now you're thinking I'm nuts, I'm sure. All right, I know it's here, but we're going to go 2 fingers because I'll find it later, and then I'll laugh at myself. So we're going to do background, all right? So now, you can do a solid color, all right? Kind of gets your attention, kind of crazy, all right? Or if you want to, you can do a gradient color, all right? Kind of shades in, fades in. Either way, you can also add your own custom colors if there's something that you like. All right, now the school that I work for, we have custom colors. All right, so O2E5D. All right, and yes, I do have them memorized because I'm just weird like that. All right, you can change where they come into. All right, You can also change the secondary color down here. All right, our secondary color, FFCB05, all right, is a yellow. All right, so you can see it's more, now this kind of goes with the school that I teach at. It's a little bit more interesting to look at. It's not just a flat boom kind of color. All right. As well, you can change the direction of your background. Oh, I just clicked on the same one. Sorry. All right. Click the little plus sign. All right. You can also change the direction that it goes. All right. And you see in this box here, it shows you what it would look like. All right. If you changed it, I'm going to cancel. I'm going to stay with what I've got just out of fun. All right. Now, what else can you do with Google Draw? Well, one of the fun things I always have my Bitmoji up here. All right. So I'm going to drop into my Bitmoji. All right, and I teach history, so this guy looks pretty cool. So I'm going to two finger that. I'm going to copy image, and then again I'm going to two finger and paste. When I say two finger, it could also be right click. All right, so now I got my guy. All right, I'm up here hanging out. I teach I teach U.S. history, world history, so kind of cool. Kind of represents what I'm going to be teaching. All right, so how about other pictures if you want? Well, you can come right up here and you can insert images. All right, you can upload it from your computer. You can search the web. If you have it in your drive, if there's a photo, a URL, you can turn on your camera. All right, all of those will allow you to jump in. Now, I am going to tell you, and I have to look at my phone because I have to remember the name of the site. But if you are interested in doing it, all right, so here's the site. I'm going to jump on it real quick. It's called remove.bg. Remove.bg. There we go. So now, if you upload an image, any image at all, right? I'm just going to grab, hopefully something that will work as a background. Like my beach scene will not work. I don't even know what this is. So, I can't because it's not a real item. But if you take a picture of yourself, I just don't have one in this drive. I could do my little Bitmoji from the other one. All right, so it's just going to now see how all those checker boxes come out. That means that this is a PNG or a JPEG, whichever you want, and now that will fit right into your background. So if I take this and download it, all right, here it is. If I come back to my header and I say insert image, upload it from my computer because it's a download situation. Come on. And I add it in. Now you see it matches right into my background, right? I don't have to cut and paste and rip it all apart. It automatically slides into my background. So I'm going to do remove.bg. It's an awesome little program. I use it a lot for different things, but just so you have a better way of getting pictures. So like, if you want to take a picture of yourself and you don't like the background, but you want that picture of you, that's all you got to do. Just throw it up in there. All right, so now I've got me. I've got a background. What else do I need? Well, I need some information, I would assume. So I can do a couple different things. I can text box, right? Just click on that text box, and I can type. All right, so I'm just going to say hello, everyone. All right, now you see it's small, it's dark. I got to highlight it. I'm going to have to make it bigger. Let's go 36 for fun. All right, I'm going to change my color to white so it really stands out. All right, now I'm typing. All right, now I'm getting some information on there. And if you want, you need to. Oh, I need to move it. You can shrink this down a little bit, and then you can just move it wherever you want. All right, I'm actually going to put. Let's see, Professor Roberson. All right, now you see when I drop to the second line, I'm just going to extend this a little bit further, and it will make it work. Now, see the red line that comes up? That red line tells me that I'm perfectly centered. All right, if I drop down, you see the other red line going across. That means I'm centered that way. So just for an idea, that's what you're looking for when you're talking about centers. All right. I can also, if I want to write words, I can also use word art. All right. If I click on word art, and I could put welcome to my class. I'm going to hit return. All right. It comes out a little differently. All right. You can see that it has a uh, more of a fatter shape to it. And the thing I like about this is that I can actually change the internal color. So if you, when I clicked on it, if you come here, it looks like a little paint can, click on there. I can actually change the internal color, and I can also change the outline of it. So it's a little hard to see, but it is there. All right. And if I want to make my outline bigger, I can change the pixels by going right here to the border weight. All right. So now here is a great beginning to a header of everything. So now one more thing. If you notice, my guy, right, my head's getting cut off because of my class. And that, I don't want that. I don't mind if class gets cut off a little bit because you can assume what it says, but I want my guy, I don't want my head being cut off. So I'm actually going to click on my guy. All right. This is what I'm looking at, right? And I'm not going to move him. What I want to do is I want to change the order of the things that are happening. So I'm going to go up to arrange, and I'm going to say order right here. All right. And I'm going to say bring this one forward. Boom. Oh, didn't work, did it? So now I have to bring it to the front. And now I'm going to bring it to front. All right. So now my guy is over top of my class. Now, if you really want to get crazy, right, you click on here, you can do some format options, right? And I got to move me up here just for a minute, but I can change the position. I can recolor it, all right? I can add some adjustments if I want to make it more transparent, all right? Kind of floating away there, all right? I could do a drop shadow. Oh, where'd that go? A drop shadow. If I click on drop shadow, all right, so now my distance will come in. So you can see him in the background. He's gaining a shadow a little bit. If I change my angle, all right, kind of looks like the sun is off to my guy's left, off of this side, and you see the shadow that's appearing. If you want to change the color of that shadow, all right, pink works, I guess, but it gives it a little bit more depth. It gives it a little bit more understanding, and you really, it starts to pop as you're building. So I really just wanted to show you some of the cool tricks that you can do with Google Draw. And I'm going to move me again. I apologize, because some of them are really fun to do, and to kind of look at. I would like you to take some time. I want you to build your own. Now, you can't get this wrong. All right, this is yours. It's your personality. This is what's going to go on top of your header of your website. All right. So when I grade it, I'm going to grade it based on the idea that I think you put some time and effort into it. All right. If it just says my class, Mr. Roberson, yeah, not so much. All right. I'm going to email you and let you know, hey, we got more work to do. All right. But if you put some time and effort into it, and I see some pictures and some shadows and some all sorts of things, and you really show your personality, you're going to be looking good. All right. And that's really what I want. I want to see your personality. All right. I want to see that you can create something that would go, because this isn't the only time we're going to use Google Draw. This is probably just the quick, simple. Later, we're going to make some Bitmoji classrooms and other crazy stuff. But I want you to see that you can really use this to your advantage. All right. So then when you're done, you're going to click share. And make sure it's shared with me. And then you'll copy the link and just paste that onto the course tracker. All right. Holler if you need me. Don't forget office hours 6 to 8 on Monday night. I had a couple of you check in. I loved it. I loved meeting some of you and just talking a little bit. And I hope it was helpful. So we will see you all later. All right. Have a good one, guys.